Over the last 3.5 years of making content, I've brought in over 115 million views. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how much money I made from those views. More importantly though, I'm going to be sharing some of the mistakes that I've made, how I'm shifting my strategy on my channel, and how you can make money as a creator. Because for years, I've been seeing videos like this.
What's the most you've generated in a month from your YouTube channel?
480K off of AdSense.
I think I did $1 million once.
And if you've seen these too, I want to share the truth about being a creator. Because yes, I've seen those numbers from some of my clients' channels over the last 4 years. But I also know the process to get there isn't very straightforward. So before we dive in, be sure to subscribe down below and let's take a look at how much I made for my channel. All right, so for this video, I think that it's probably going to be easiest if we go through year by year, starting back in 2022 when I launched my channel, going through each one, covering the content that I posted, the viewership that it's gotten, and most importantly, the revenue. So let's start in 2022. Now, in 2022, I was kind of posting intermittently, so there wasn't a lot of consistent data on my videos before July. But in July, what happened is I started posting YouTube shorts every single day, trying to build up momentum behind my audience. And that had a huge payoff. I started the year with 400 subscribers, ended it with just shy of 50,000. And I was able to get 27 million views. As you can see, a lot of that came in short bursts. So July, there was a burst. In September, there was a burst. In October, and then again in November, which was quite a big one. And you can see that the subscriber growth kind of came along with those bursts too. But if we look at the content and actually break down the analytics here, videos on my channel got 431,000 views in 2022, so long form content, whereas the shorts got 26,800,000 views. This is actually kind of nuts when you think about it. 23 million views, 26 million views, whatever that number is. It's a lot of growth and 50,000 subs coming from the channel in that time period. But if we look at the revenue, I only made $1,247 in 2022. The reason for this is that back in 2022, if you wanted to get your channel monetized, what you needed to do was you needed 4,000 watch hours from long form content and 1,000 subs. There was no monetization from short form that you could get back. It basically took me from posting in July all the way till November when I had a long form video take off that I finally was able to monetize my channel and start making money. Now, what you see here is that there's a couple of huge spikes because back then the way you made money from shorts was also different. You didn't get paid out every day based on viewership. You got a bonus at the end of the month. So I got 2 bonuses, which were pretty nice, honestly. I think I made $560 in November, and then I think I made like $400 in December. But either way, quite a bit of money. It was really nice to have those come in. And I made $1,247 in 2022 on 27 million views. So not great, but definitely pretty nice to have that coming in just getting started. Which leads us to 2023. Now, 2023 was honestly a very tough year. I built up a ton of momentum in the first few months of my channel. The first 6 months, I got 27 million views. And then between January and September of 2023, the viewership really lagged. It wasn't great, I'll be honest. I was experimenting with a lot of different content, trying out a bunch of different formats. And what ended up happening is that I wasn't really seeing the results that I wanted on anything, so I'd continue pivoting. I went from talking about creators in 2022, which is what really grew my channel, to pivoting to lifestyle content, and honestly, I was all over the place. It wasn't until I cleaned things up in May or June and really started to focus in again on educational content and what got my channel going that I started to finally see results coming back in. But there was a lot of delayed gratification. It took till the end of August to start seeing that momentum build up again. But with that said, in 2023, was able to get 49 million views, almost doubling the viewership from 2022, and add 67,000 subscribers, which again, these came in short bursts. There really wasn't much layering or consistency here, which is what I was really hoping to get. So anyways, looking at the viewership based on different content types, this one's even more striking, I would say. I got 1.3 million views on my long form content and 47,800,000 on my shorts. Obviously, short form was kind of the bread and butter of my channel for a long time, for sure the first year and a half of having my channel. And at this point, you gotta remember that in 2023, I hit 100,000 subscribers and I was really excited. There was so much momentum behind my channel that I thought I was gonna be able to make it to 1 million. But there was also some concerns popping up in my head at this time, because if we look at the revenue, I made $6,260.46 from my content in 2023. Now, what's interesting is that at the time, right, if I look, I was earning on average, this is kind of skewed, right, because I was earning an average of $1.02 per 1,000 views on my long form content. That's way lower because the video that I had that did really well, that got over 1 million views in this, in the year of 2023. I was talking about vaping, which is a sensitive topic, so it actually got the video demonetized, or at least mostly demonetized. I was able to make like $1,000 on that, but considering that video got 1.6 million views between November of 2022 and the end of 2023, I lost out on quite a bit of revenue. We're talking like over $10,000 at least. Looking at the shorts though, at this time, shorts were not paying very much. I remember in 2022, they were paying about 5 cents per 1,000 views. In 2023, it went up a lot. It was up to 10 cents per 1,000 views, but it still wasn't really enough to make a living from YouTube. So at this point, I'm getting millions of views every single month. On average, this is like 4 million views per month throughout the entire year of 2023. And yet I made $6,000. You got to remember that at this point, I'm starting to really question the sustainability of this channel and how much people are going to engage with my content long term, because I can't get views on my long form content. I can't get people to engage with the content that I'm putting out that is actually going to build up trust, build up my audience, and allow me to make money. But I'm able to get views. They're just not really high impact views. This was definitely where things started to shift a little bit in my mind, but where I wanted to take my channel, which leads us to 2024. So as you can see, 2024 had some big drop-offs here. This is when I went all in on my channel. I quit my job in July of 2024 after 2 years of having my channel. And you can see that pretty much after that, my views started to drop pretty quickly, right? So yeah, 33 million views in the year of 2024 and 31,000 new subscribers. Now, what you can see is that the subscribers definitely continued to stay up, even though my viewership dropped significantly. And the reason for that is that I made a huge shift to long form content. After about 2 years of putting out short form content and having that be the bread and butter, I realized that it wasn't giving me the sustainability in my creator career that I needed. If we look at the viewership based on different content types for 2024, I got 692,600 views on my long form content, which you can see after July really started to pick up, right? There was a huge boost, kind of slowed down posting in October and November, but in December, we got that boost coming again towards the end of the month. And then for short form content, 32,600,000 views, which is still a lot. But what's interesting is that if we go into our revenue, I made $9,338.79 in 2024. And if we go to the breakdown here from videos, which again, we're considering that this is a small sliver of the amount of viewership that I'm getting from shorts. Got 692,000 views, made $4,242 from that with an average revenue of $6.13 per 1,000 views. Looking at shorts, the revenue per 1,000 views went up quite a bit. It's up 6 cents per 1,000 views, which adds up a lot, honestly. Yeah, again, $5,096.76. So looking at the comparison here, from a small sliver of viewership on long form, I made almost half of my revenue. To me, this was the biggest shift in my mindset. I realized that it was time to go all in on long form content, and I really did change a lot. But thing is that this year's been a little bit weird. I've been starting up this business, trying to, help coach other creators, and I haven't been very consistent. So I actually have I've kind of hurt myself a lot more than I care to admit. Looking at 2025 so far, I've got 6,209,000 views. And I've gained about 11,200 subscribers. I'm not proud of these numbers, to be honest with you. I think I could have worked a lot harder to get more content out throughout the first 6 months of the year. I posted 2 long form videos in the first 6 months. So definitely took a lot of time off that I shouldn't have. And I really think that it made a huge impact on my channel. But remembering that there's still over a month left in the year, there is an upside here. If we look at the content of those 6 million views, 1.4 million views came from long form content, and my shorts, 4.9 million. Now, I've posted a lot of shorts still this year. I was trying to experiment with different formats, but I wasn't going to post shorts that would just get views for the sake of views. It had to have some sort of tie into my long form content or my brand. And so really for me, the long form became my bread and butter this year. What's interesting is that if you look at the different metrics, right, we go back to 2022 and we look at my videos, what you can see is that my view duration was only 4 minutes and 20 seconds back in 2022, and in 2025 it's up to 624, and it's been really high for the last little while as well. So knowing that I got 1.4 million views on my long form content, that made me $7,439, and my short form content, 3.6 million engaged views, so it's even fewer. It's pretty much only 3 times my long form viewership. Got $864 this year so far, which again, that's way higher. The revenue per 1,000 engaged views went up by a lot again this year, but my big focus here and my big shift has had a huge impact on my revenue. $5.48 per 1,000 views, and some of my recent videos have been even higher. If I look at this one, which is doing well, it was posted about a month ago. It has earned $794 in the last month on 67,000 views, which is $12 per 1,000 views. That's way higher than any amount of shorts can make. So like if you do the math, right, I'd have to get 46,000 views on one piece of short form content for it to count for 1,000 long form views on my content right now. So let's go back here. Looking at the total revenue so far for this year, it's $8,304, which again, knowing that there's still about a month and a half left in the year, I still have an opportunity to actually have this be higher than last year, even though my viewership's down by a ton. The truth is I've just been optimizing for different things this year, and it's actually had quite a solid impact on my channel. I feel that the content is more sustainable, that I'm prouder of the content going out, and that I'm not chasing viewership on shorts like I have been for the last few years. If we look at the overall revenue of my channel for the last 3.5 years of posting content, listen, it's not super impressive. I've been on pace for under $10,000 a year, but I think that the shifts that I'm making now are going to make a huge difference. So on 115 million views, I've made $25,159 from my YouTube channel. And remember, if we really do this breakdown properly and we look at the different viewership based on content types, if it'll load, that's 112 million short form views and only 3.8 million long form views. But again, breaking down the revenue, I've made $13,000 from my long form content, remembering that there's 3.8 million views here. And from my shorts, on 110 million views, I've made $10,000. So I've made more from my videos, and I can feel that this shift's making a huge impact already. Now, one thing I wanted to also show is that my highest earning content is, it's really interesting to look at, right? So if I take these videos, right? This video made $4,000, this one made $3,000, this one made $1,500, and this one made, it's about $800 so far. If we do the math quickly there, it's $9,300, I think, from 4 videos. That's my quick math here, at least. I've been able to make almost like 50%, like 75%, maybe even 80% of my my revenue from just under 20% of the actual amount of videos I've posted. It's like the 80-20 rule in practice here. So what about these videos help me to make $4,000, $3,000, $1,400? The truth is it's evergreen content. Evergreen content is content that can perform well on YouTube now and in years from now. So like it is evergreen. It's not going to expire or it's not timely, right? My recent shift with my long form content has been to start making more evergreen long form videos to allow me to actually, you know, like have an impact on YouTube and grow an audience, not just now, but make an investment into the content for years to come so that audience can come in at any point. It's a lot different than looking at short form content because this video right here that has 13.8 million views only made me $1,400. And after about 2 months, it completely died. It never got views again. So it's like short spurts of maybe fame and maybe not, and you're not really gonna get any reliable income. If I had to zoom out a little bit, right, and think about some of the mistakes that I've made in the last few years of running my YouTube channel, I'd say the biggest one is over-indexing on short form content because it was getting me, I guess, like views and subscribers and not focusing on the real impact metrics. I know that looking at revenue kind of feels a little disingenuous, right? But if we're being honest, if I look at the videos where there's high revenue levels, it's because people are engaging with the content for a longer period of time, right? I mean, this recent video I was telling you about that made $800 in the last month already, if we look at it, it has 48% retention and people watched 9.5 minutes of that video. This retention graph is something that I'm super proud of, right? Oh, look, I'm also wearing the same outfit in this video. That's kind of funny. The truth of the matter is, though, is that realistically, when it comes to YouTube, there's things that can get you dopamine, like views and subscribers, but there's things that can actually make an impact on your audience. Like seeing that the revenue is high, it means that the audience is watching a lot of the video, they're engaging, seeing comments. Those are metrics that actually give you an indication of how your audience is growing. So for me, yeah, I took a huge hit in performance metrics this year, and I see those metrics and I'm like, maybe I should post more shorts and get those like huge inflated views. But the fact of the matter is, do I really want that audience to be on my channel? Do I really want to be making content for people who are fleeting that may not pay attention, right? I have 158,000 subscribers and my subscriber growth has slowed down quite a lot this year. But I feel really good about the people who I'm bringing on to the channel and the people who are joining my audience. It's been a rocky road, I'm not gonna lie. And this year I've kind of been a little lazy in terms of posting. I think I could have done a lot better had I actually been consistent. But my biggest takeaway so far is that, even though my viewership's down, even though my sub growth is down, my revenue is on track to be the highest it's ever been in a year on YouTube, despite all of those mistakes and all of those changes and shifts. Shows me that there's depth, that there's sustainability here, and that I'm growing a real audience. If you're looking to start or scale your channel and actually start making income from YouTube, I created a new community called Launchpad. I built Launchpad to be the best place for anyone to start or scale their channel and business. Whether you're just getting started on YouTube and you have 0 subscribers, or you've been doing this for a while and you have 250,000, there's something in Launchpad for you. From weekly live streams showing you how to stay on top of the game and keep growing your channel, to the systems, strategies, and tools that I've implemented with dozens of creators, and even personalized feedback on your content, Launchpad is the best place to get all-in-one support to help you grow your channel. Because it's still relatively new and I wanted to give some sort of bonus for the early adopters, if you sign up for the whole year, I'm gonna throw in an added one-on-one call with me for 1 hour to plan out your upcoming content, create strategies going into 2026, and I'll do that entirely for free if you sign up by the end of the year. And if you're not sure yet, there's a free version of Launchpad you can try out as well, also linked down below in the description. And hey, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more and check out this video right here where I show you how to start your channel and go full-time.